Alright, trims are all the way out, and the brake looks good. Trims are all the way out there, and the brake looks good here. Alright, here we go. Oh. Okay, we're in the air, and it's a little hazy up here, but we're going to get up above this haze. It's about early in the morning. Things set up here, make sure we're connected. Okay. Set the strobe lights on because it's a little bit hazy out here today, and I noticed that there was a couple people out flying this morning because the hangars are open. Yeah, it's a little chilly. I'm glad I wore my jacket this morning. It was probably in the 50s, but this afternoon it'll warm up. We're starting to get in that time of year where it's starting to cool off and then get real hot in the afternoon. We're about 725 feet, flipping along about 35 miles an hour. And my hands are actually kind of cold up here. So, let's start considering wearing gloves here in the future. We're going to put these brakes, stow them up here, and see if we can give a little left trim. This thing loves to pull right. And I'll put my hand in my pocket or something. It's a little chilly. Not too bad. Don't want to be a sissy, but it's cold. I'm going to drop down a little bit and see if there's a little breeze up here. If anything makes me feel kind of uneasy, it's heading back towards the landing zone and fighting a wind. Especially if you go out for about 30 minutes and then work your way back, and you know that you have an hour for sure, and it may be an extra 30 minutes after that, depends on how hard you're running. I like to fly for an hour, that's normally safe, and hour and a half maybe pushing it. So these are just some tidbits that I wanted to, I'm just kind of rattling. Some of my buddies that watch YouTube, they always say, what is it you're thinking about when you're up there flying? Well, what I'm thinking about is engine outs and fighting the wind going back and looking for a place to land. But for the most part, it's just trying to enjoy the scenery. And it's awfully beautiful up here in the sky with this fog. I dropped down a little bit. I'm down about 600 feet. 22 miles an hour, sort of going 22 straight to the right. We're getting drifted to the right here, but not too bad. We're going to fly in a different direction. I think I'll fight the headwind first thing this morning and then fly it back. I feel a lot better fighting it first and then flying back in it. One flight I had, I got up to 50 miles an hour, which was the fastest that I've been. And that was with a good wind behind me. So this year, flying, I've flown higher than I've ever flown before, which wasn't very high, considering some of the flights that I've heard about. But I went up to 2,000, a little over 2,000 feet, and I went 50 miles an hour. So I did some touch and goes. I did some really low passes, almost like a foot drag, but you really can't consider it a foot drag, I guess, in a trike. And I don't know that I'd want to put my legs down and take a chance at drag and getting them pulled under this trike. So I'll stick with what I did and keep my feet on the bars. So when I go out and fly, it's usually an hour. The videos are about an hour long, and then I'm trying to break them down to about 15 minutes and try to put as much as I can that's interesting of the conversation. And if there's any scenery that's particularly interesting, I fly a lot around West Lafayette here, so a lot of the scenery most of you folks have already seen. And of course, I had my embarrassing moment of dropping my phone. And now I always keep an eye on my phone. And speaking of, one of my straps came off my phone. I've got a new secondary wire that holds my phone now, so if the straps do pop, the phone is connected. so that it won't go anywhere. At least that's the theory. 41 miles an hour. Boy, just turn a little bit and just pick up some speed here. We're going to start making our way down towards the runway. There's that butterfly just went by at 800 feet. I wonder if they're migrating. Do butterflies migrate? I thought that's hummingbirds migrate on the back of geese. Butterflies, I'm sure they migrate. Well, that butterfly was way up here and he was moving along. There's another butterfly. It must be Flight of the Butterfly. Maybe that's what I'll call this title. Flight of the Butterfly. Butterflies are just taking off all over. Looking around to see if I see any pilots in the area. Not seeing anyone. The fog is still just hanging down here low. No pumpkins this year. Used to be pumpkins over here to the right. Now there's corn. There's my shadow right there in front of me. So the sun's starting to come out. Okay,